And this is just the beginning of America First.
Honestly, Sam, if I could just get this sentence out. We can talk about Jimmy Dore can go and kill 15 kids tomorrow, and I still believe in force the vote.
They're not accountable to anyone. I get 10 to 12 million views a month, and they won't come out and address my progressive audience who isn't endorsing hashtag the vote. All those motherfuckers who didn't show up today at our town hall, every fucking one of them is selling you out and canceling you for their own personal gain.
Get your words straight, Jack.
$7 million for reef fish management, $25 million to combat Asian carp, $2.5 million to count the number of amberjack fish in the Gulf of Mexico.
Honestly, Sam, if I could just get this sentence out. We can talk about Jimmy Dore can go and kill 15 kids tomorrow, and I still believe in force the vote.
And by the way, I don't think that's some grand conspiracy. I think this is sort of what power is. I mean this at a sort of high level.
We hold these truths to be self-evident. All men and women created by God. You know the thing.
That was an opinion of somebody, and that was a retweet. I'll put it out there. People can decide for themselves. I don't take the message.
Running against the worst candidate in the history of presidential politics puts pressure on me. Can you imagine if I lose my whole life? What am I going to do? I'm going to say, I lost to the worst candidate in the history of politics. I'm not going to feel so good. Maybe I'll have to leave the country. I don't know.
You will file articles of impeachment against President Joe Biden.
Isn't it wonderful to allow protest? No. Did you use the word smart? So you said you went to Delaware State, but you forgot the name of your college. You didn't go to Delaware State. You graduated either the lowest or almost the lowest in your class. Don't ever use the word smart with me. Don't ever use that word.
Oh, give me a break.
Because you know what? There's nothing smart about you, Joe. But you have to go home now. We have to have peace. We have to have law and order. We have to respect our great people in law and order. We don't want anybody hurt. It's a very tough period of time. There's never been a time like this where such a thing happened.
Early in the morning, they went to the table with the black robe, the black shield, and they pulled out the votes. Those votes were put there a number of hours before.
As far as my relationships with all people, I think I have great relationships with all people. I am the least racist person in this room.
But I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black.
Not good. Believe me, not good. Alleged meeting with the Burmese executives. So this Burmese, they say, pronounce it Burmese. A real beautiful company.
In my opinion, it's never too late. Little double.
Dumb people, liberal people, dumb people, liberal people, dumb, 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 dumb people, liberal, dumb, 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 dumb people, liberal, dumb, 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 dumb. I have in Article 2 where I have the right to do whatever I want as president, but I don't even talk about that.
There's an old saying in Tennessee, I know it's in Texas, probably Tennessee, that says, fool me once, shame on you. If fool me, we can't get fooled again.
And he's like this, and we will, I need water, help me, I need water, help. And this is on live television.
Watch Hillary examine the terrain. Watch a campaign with the man Tim Kaine. Tim Kaine in the membrane. Tim Kaine in the brain.
I don't know who created Pokemon Go, but I'm trying to figure out how we get them to have Pokemon go to the polls.
You know, the truth of the matter is that when you look at some of my policies, in a lot of ways, Richard Nixon was more liberal than I was.
In case you don't know, and you haven't seen the latest polls, the American people hold the President of the United States in contempt. They hold this institution in contempt. They hold the Republican Party in contempt. They hold the Democratic Party in contempt. They think that maybe, given all of the crises facing this country, it's about time that there was some bold leadership here and that this institution made some hard choices. In case you don't know, and you haven't seen...
a patriot, and the people left behind there were heroes. And I resent like hell.
Hunter? Are you talking about
I'm talking about my son, Bo Biden. You're talking about...
I don't know, Bo. I know Hunter. Hunter got thrown out of the military. He was thrown out, dishonorably discharged.
That's not true. It wasn't dishonorable.
Cocaine use. And he didn't have a job until you became vice president. And once you... No good, really bad for you.
We hold these truths to be self-evident. All men and women created by the... You know the thing.
Hello. Is this thing on? Is this thing on? Yo, this thing, I think it's on. Hello? Isn't that incredible? Like, isn't that just wonderful? Like, literally, like, there are human beings, like, watching me fuck around, right? Like, it's just unbelievable. I don't know how to process this. But hello, everyone. Welcome to Above It All. This is, for January 24th. And I got my little, like, look, this arm is way fun to play with. My setup back home, I can't play with it as well, but, like, look at that. It's just spinning around. Like, as you can see, it's just going up and down. Look at that. Isn't that just incredible? I'm sure it makes the audio sound weird when I, like, do that, but that's just... God, what will they think of next? Anyway, how's it going, everyone? Hopefully everyone's having a good day today. I'm having a pretty good day. It's a pretty decent day. Could be better. Could be a better day, but right now it's a pretty decent day. So, Jesus, man, this chair is a little squeaky. So real quick before I begin, I would like to say that the schedule for today is going to be a little interesting. I'm going to be doing a Sunday run day. I'm going to be playing Doom 2 Hell on Earth. I'm going to be doing the UV maximum category, which is 100% of the kills and the secrets in the whole game. And then after that, at some point during the night, I've gotten a lot of emails, tweets, and direct messages from people saying that they would be very interested in me doing a commentary restream of the Sam Sater versus Brianna Joy Gray with an E debate over Force the Vote, because I covered some clips yesterday, and so people, and I said if people reach out to me, if they tell me they want this, then I'll do it, and I think a requisite number of people probably about 10 or so, reached out to me and said to do it, so I'm going to do it. So that's going to happen at some point tonight. I don't know what my times are going to be like yet. Again, I am not at home, so I'm not necessarily always on my own schedule here right now. So, like, I'm thinking for me playing the video game that I mentioned, I'm probably going to do that around maybe 5 p.m., maybe 6. And then that game takes about, let's say, 100 minutes. 90 if I want to, like, be really, like, you know, it's not going to take, it's going to take probably at least 100 minutes, maybe 110, hopefully not 120, though it's very possible. And then I'll probably take a short break, and then I'll do the debate live stream. So that would be around 5. If I started at 6, then maybe the debate live stream would be around 8:30, maybe. And this is all in Eastern time, and so that's kind of what we're dealing with here. So for those of you that are curious, that's your kind of programmatic lineup for today. And tomorrow I will be back once again at 10 in the morning, as always. Unless I die or something. It's probably, like, you know, it's possible that, like, I die in a car crash today. Like, totally possible, right? I'm not dropping. I'm just going to be in there for the car ride. But we're dropping off my brother at the airport today because he's leaving. And he, you know, I couldn't get him on for another commentary piece. But, you know, if you want to deal with him, you can go watch the inauguration stream again. I didn't clip anything from that because I'm lazy. But, you know, you can go watch that. It's about 3 hours. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, like, it's totally possible I'll die in a car crash. I mean, so if I do, I'll let you know. Anyway, I'm in a chair. That's correct, Brooke. I am, in fact, in a chair. That's accurate. Did I have to delay the Nomiki appearance due to travels? I mean, it just kind of worked out that way. They said they wanted to do, like, this week they wanted to cover the inauguration. So we are rescheduling for, I think, not next week, but the week after. I'm not sure. You can go ask them if you want. They're the ones that, they do this thing where, like, I know I'm going to shit all over them here for a second, but it's okay. I do it with love. They do this thing where, like, they have, like, a calendar, right? Like, imagine, right, like, you have this show, right? And imagine you've got, like, a calendar. Let's just say it's on the wall, just, you know, just for the sake of dealing with my visual analogy. Let's say you've got a calendar, and then you write down each day on the calendar, and then it's like, yeah, we're going to have this person on the 29th. Like, for me, it's all in the brain. And, you know, maybe that's just because no one comes on my show because I'm not popular and no one likes me. That's possible. But I'd like to think it's because I'm spontaneous. I'd like to think it's because I'm interesting, and so forth. But either way, I was penciled in. There was a calendar, and someone used a writing apparatus, potentially one with graphite, potentially one with ink. And I was penciled in and or penned in. And then I was erased, so that leads me to believe that I was probably penciled in and not penned in because it's kind of hard to erase ink. But you know, I was penciled in. I'm no longer penciled in. But it's one of those situations where, like, you know how when you look at, like, Van Gogh paintings, right? And then, like, you know, you kind of, like, use, like, an X-ray or something, or, like, you know, they've got those things where, like, they can X-ray a Van Gogh, right? And then you can see that there's another painting underneath that painting. So that's kind of the situation we're dealing with right here. As you know, or maybe as you don't know, Van Gogh reused a lot of his canvases because he really liked painting, but he was poor. So he reused a lot of his canvases. He would, you know, just wash it off, basically. And with the power of X-rays and other stuff, you can see what the old paintings may have looked like. And so that's kind of the situation that we're in right now. If you were to, like, maybe, you know, do that thing where, like, you know, you draw with the pencil all the way through, you might see some indentations that may lead you to believe that I was once on the schedule. But as of this moment, I am not on the schedule. I was erased. And that is a situation we're going to have to deal with in some capacity, I think. And there you go. But hopefully that very extended bit was not boring, and hopefully that was entertaining to your persuasions, and hopefully I can move on with the show at this point, but I don't know. Hello, Pure Atterness. Are we alone in the universe? What are your thoughts on Fermi Paradox? Don't know what that is. Are we alone in the universe? No. I think we are the universe, and therefore we cannot be alone. I think we are all the same person. I think we're all the same being. I think that, you know, the idea that we don't think that is, it's kind of like cancer, where your liver is like, wait a second, am I a liver or am I a spleen? And then your the cancer spreads and like your liver can't work properly because your liver doesn't know what's going on. I think that's the situation that we're in. I feel like there's like some sort of cancer taking over the universe, and I feel like it results in us not knowing each other better. So that's my little philosophical thing for you. So I don't know what the Fermi paradox is, but I'll do you one better. Yeah, so it says more about us than you. What does? What says more about us than you? Interesting. Lol, sounds pro. I am definitely not a pro. Hello, Itor. What's poppin'? Hello, Mila Reson. Not to be confused with Mila Reason, of course, which are two completely different people. I was wondering about your appearance on the Nomiki show. Yeah. I mentioned this the other day, but obviously if I have to like start doing this more, right? Where like when I do planned shows and when I think about all this stuff, I am under the assumption that everyone is watching all of every show. I mean, it's only an hour a day. You can watch it at like 2 times speed, and that's half an hour. So I just figure, right, that people are watching every single show. So I mentioned it a couple days ago one time that we're rescheduling, and I guess people just didn't listen to the show. I mean, that's fine. I mean, whatever, right? But I have to start getting into the mindset where I need to repeat myself more often. That's just something I'm going to work on. But, yeah. All right. Yeah. Just reading the chat. Ego death for the win. That's what I'm saying. I'm stretching. Ooh. Okay. All right. Woo! Man, that was a good stretch. You ever have like a good stretch? Like you're just like, man, you're doing a normal stretch. And there's like that transition period. And you know me, I love transition periods, right? So there's that transition period from like when you've got that, I'm stretching, I need to stretch, I need, there's the physical impetus that, precedes a stretch. But then there's that transition period that I mentioned earlier that I'm a huge fan of. So there's this transition period where a stretch becomes just like, just something you're doing for efficiency reasons, and it becomes something pleasurable. And I just experienced that transition period as well as the pleasurable stretch. I was stretching my arm, and then it went from like, wow, this is a very utilitarian thing that I'm doing. It went from that to, holy shit, I feel like, there you go. Anyway, so how's Max? We demanded Max update. Actually, I have a Max update in the form of a video that was texted to me by my roommate who is currently taking care of the dog. I will try my best right now to not expose their phone number. And if I do, I am sorry. But as you can tell, that's Max the dog. That's actually Cody the dog. But Cody the dog is playing with Max the dog. And this is a video. And there's Max just running by. So Max is alive and well, according to reports. Now, it's possible that video was filmed like several days ago, and they just like kept it in advance. And it's totally possible that they have killed and eaten Max the dog, because I do live with people. That eat meat, and you can never really trust a meat eater around a pet. Like, I know, you're thinking, are you serious right now? I didn't know this is a radical vegan channel. Well, first of all, it's not. I'm a vegetarian. But second of all, you can't trust a meat eater around a pet. You just can't. Like, these people eat chickens. These people are willing to eat pigs. Pigs are smarter than dogs. Like, believe me. Pigs are objectively smarter than dogs. There are pigs that have played Space Invaders and have won several rounds. So these pigs are smart as hell. They're smarter than dogs, and people still eat them. You can't trust someone that eats a pig and claim that they don't eat dogs. You just can't trust them. So I live with a bunch of meat eaters. It's totally possible that they've utilized Max for sustenance by now and are just placating me with these videos. Anything is possible. But of course, eventually, maybe a week from now, I'll be able to identify the situation and see if the video is in fact a legitimate source of information versus just a bunch of bullshit that they're using to deceive me. But again, you can never trust a meat eater. And if y'all are meat eaters, my lord. Anyway, now that extremely long intro is over, that was like a 10-minute diatribe. I guess it's not a diatribe. What is a diatribe? What is the definition of diatribe? Is it D-I-E? Because that would mean two. Or is it D-I-A, which means something else? It is D-I-A, a forceful and bitter verbal attack against someone or something? That's not what I thought that word was. A forceful or bitter verbal attack against someone. I guess it was a diatribe then. Okay. Diatribe of which is not D-I-E or D-I. Is it D-I-E or D-I that means two? Then again, die is the singular of dice. So, I mean, this is some crazy shit. Anyway, my lord, right? Like, I can just talk about nothing forever. Like, literally, this is what, like, you know, again, there's a lot of people that don't like my video game streams. First of all, I don't know why. I think you're dumb. But this is what I do during video game streams. I just kind of ramble like a moron for an extended period of time. So if you like this, definitely watch Sunday Runday later today. Anyway, there you go. Forceful and bitter. That describes me to a T, does it not? Better yet, we want a picture of Max next to Bernie Sanders. I'm considering making a cardboard cutout of Bernie Sanders sitting in a chair and putting that in the background when I get home. I heard diet tribe. I think our tribe should definitely go on a diet, personally. Anyway, so I've got a video from one Bernie Sanders. I'm not sure if you've heard of him. So Bernie Sanders was on Twitter. I'm sorry, I just got a lot of, like, you know, shit burping up or whatever. I don't know. But Bernie Sanders was on Twitter. And so Bernie Sanders is someone who tweets, and he tweeted out this. So in 1994, Democrats in power lost big because they were not bold. As we all remember, Democrats suck dick. And I'm not talking about the good dick. I'm not talking, you know, about that, you know, that good stuff. I'm talking about, like, you know, Newt Gingrich or something. Like, you don't want to be in that scenario. In 2010, it happened again. If we do not take aggressive action now to protect working families, it will happen again in 2022. So he's got a little video. Let's watch.
Yesterday. There's great disappointment here at the White House.
This is truly a wildly historic night.
Overall, it was a Republican victory, astonishing in scope.
Pennsylvania turned Republican, New York turned Republican, Texas turned Republican.
Are the people saying tonight, let's go back to Reaganomics?
I really don't think so.
For the second time in 2 years, American voters have told Washington, change. If you don't, we will change you.
In 1994, they're voting for change again. They're frustrated with the pace of change.
I think the mandate is they want action.
People around this country looked around at the political landscape and they said,
who's that?
We got a Democrat in the White House. We got Democrats in the Senate. We got Democrats in the House. And you know what? My life is not getting better. If I'm going to get involved in politics at all, I'm going to throw these bumps out.
I mean, the American people abandoned us at the polls because they felt that we basically had abandoned them in these first 2 years.
You know what bothers me a little bit, David, is that we keep reading about how this economy is booming. I don't know for whom it is booming, but it is not booming for the people that I know in the state of Vermont.
You know, the average family, they're having a hard time paying for health insurance premium increases if they have health insurance. And they wonder, you know, what the hell do we have a government for?
Got a lot of people out there listening
Can we
to
say
some
that
Democrats
like the music
saying,
is so
what
good?
do you stand for? Are you going to represent us when we are hurting so much? Do you have the guts to take on powerful special interests? And unless ordinary people stand up and fight for their lives and the lives of their kids and their parents, then
I'm going to be honest. You can, like, notice a little bit of a weight difference in 95 Bernie versus 2020 Bernie. It's a little like I feel like he lost like a good 30, 40 pounds. I don't know. It's very interesting.
we're going to be in trouble. Maybe the problem is that the working class of this country did not perceive that you were prepared to stand up and fight for them. In other words, at this particular moment in history, Congress is going to have to rise up and be extremely bold in addressing the major crises facing working families and the middle class. And I intend to be very active in that process.
So anyway, Bernie Sanders going in on Twitter. I love when he posts these little videos that are super cool. And then I can just like watch the videos, and that's free content for my channel. But again, Bernie Sanders has a very salient point, of course. I could just sit here and play the video and not provide any commentary. But then again, I'm a narcissist, so I have to add my own layer, right? But of course, like, yeah, the Democratic Party is garbage. We all know that. There have been many eras of, Democrats taking control of, like, the White House and then losing everything else. Like, look at what happened in 2020. Democrats did take the White House, but they lost a fuckload everywhere else because no one likes either party. That's kind of the scenario that we're in here. A lot of people have this, again, throw the bums out attitude, which is basically vote against the incumbent at all costs, right? There's a lot of people that have that attitude. And so when you have a Democrat in a House seat and people are like, my life is not better, they're just going to vote for the other guy. To them, the other guy being a Republican is like, okay, whatever. They don't understand that the Republican Party is the party of white supremacy. They don't understand that the Democratic Party is the party of corporations. They just think, okay, this person's not doing what I want, therefore I'll vote for the other person. So that's kind of the attitude that a lot of Americans have, and sometimes that allows people to win elections. Sometimes it doesn't. It really does depend on a lot of other factors, right? But again, if we're looking at a situation where Democrats do control Congress, they do control the presidency, right? And they do nothing again, right? The Republicans, they have proven themselves to be extremely good at, being the minority. They're really good at being the victim. They're really good at kind of making everyone else seem like they're the problem. And then when they get into power, they're also they're really good at just continuing to do that, especially for their base. So again, the Democrats really need to kind of step this shit up, otherwise they're going to go into the gone zone. And personally, I don't want to be in a situation where Republicans take back the Senate or the House in 2022. That would make all of our lives significantly worse. So yeah, we're going to have to definitely make sure that the Democrats do their thing. Call your representatives, call your senators, especially if you're in Georgia. Call those motherfuckers on a daily basis. You need to have Warnock and Ossoff on speed dial, motherfucker. You need to be calling those people like 4 times a day. And you need to make sure that they do what's right. And that's my little diatribe for that. But yeah, again, we're going to see. The next 6 months is going to define the next 2 years. Honestly, I think the next 6 weeks is going to define the next 2 years. And so let's hope for the best. He changed his diet and started walking more. I bet. The 2020 Democrat message was only Trump bad, so why not vote red down bad? Exactly. They did a horrible job of... They tried to divorce Trump from the Republican Party and say, oh, Trump is so uniquely bad. When no, it's the Republican Party that's uniquely bad. This is an issue I have with Warren detractors as an MA voter. What is the issue that you have? Because personally, I don't like Elizabeth Warren that much. I mean, I recognize that she's better than most other people that are in that, in the seat of being a senator, right? She's probably in the top, 5 percentile or whatever. But on a personal level, geez, man, motherfucker, right? Like, oh my God, what a fucking piece of garbage. On a personal level, like on an ideological level and on an institutional level, maybe she's not the worst. But on a personal level, I mean, my God. There are, anyone that ran against Bernie or Biden, those were the 2 candidates. Anyone else that ran and then didn't drop out in September of 2019 or whatever, they, if they just want to run to boost their profile or whatever and then drop, that's fine, whatever. Anyone who stayed in the race past September, right? Honestly, I just they are terrible people. They're just objectively horrendous humans. But, yeah, I don't like her much anymore, but it's going to take someone out of this world who can legitimately take her on from the left. Yeah, I don't think it's worth primarying her unless we primary a bunch of other people first, right? There needs to be a lot more going on before I think we do that one. I tolerate Warren. I can't stand her willingness to lie. Yeah, really just Jesus. A cardiologist I know made a video for Bernie after his heart attack. I doubt he saw it, though. Darn. What's my political ranking look like? The top 10? That's a little bit too celebrity kind of stuff for me. Corporate Democrats didn't support progressive candidates. The P word. whatever that means. Anyway, let's move on. I've got, got a whole show here, so yeah. So yeah, I got this story here. I saw this last night. Didn't read it yet because I'm a piece of garbage. There's like, there's two parts of my show. There's like the parts where it's like, some days I wake up, I've got my cup of coffee. I'm like, hell yeah, buddy. Let's fucking, let's read some news. Let's have a good program today. And then there's other shows where I don't read the news and I just go like, oh, that's a funny looking headline. Maybe I'll cover that in the show today and read it for the first time because I'm lazy. And that's the kind of show that we're dealing with today. So, yeah, let's go. So, shortly after the United States Capitol was breached by Trumpist lunatics, the actual law enforcement in the the FBI, I guess, in particular, they're actually trying to track down some of these dumb motherfuckers that managed to get into the halls, the sacred halls of liberty, right? They actually managed to walk through that shit. Mostly because the cops opened the doors for him, but that's another story for another day. Actually, it should be the story right here. But anyway, Garrett Miller, 34, is one of at least 119 people facing federal charges in connection with crimes committed during the January 6th attack. So, again, this was almost a disaster. Now, 6 people are dead because of this Capitol insurrection attempt, right? It could have been more. We could have had members of Congress be assassinated, right? When you've got people that openly say, I want to kill AOC on Twitter all day, every day, and then you allow them to walk through the sacred halls of liberty, right? When you do that, 1, you're bad at your job. I'm talking about like the cops and everything. And 2, you're just a dumb motherfucker. So let's read. A Texas man, again, remember the Jimmy Dores of the world are like, if Trump just gave these people $2,000, then they wouldn't have stormed the Capitol. They've got economic anxiety. So you're telling me a guy from Texas managed to get all the way to Washington, D.C., and he's got economic anxiety? Okay, sure. In the middle of a pandemic, right, when historically people have, like, no money whatsoever, this person is still traveling from Texas to Washington, D.C. to storm the Capitol. Like, again, economic anxiety, my fucking asshole, okay? So a Texas man who posted numerous comments and images on social media showing him participating in the U.S. Capitol riots on January 6th, not sending their best, of course. Hey guys, I'm just going to take a selfie while incriminating myself doing absolutely the most heinous and illegal things imaginable. I covered this story of someone on Instagram who posted a selfie in the Capitol, and was like, we just stormed the Capitol, man. I don't even know what treason is, when their friend called them out, and then, now they're in jail. But, including a tweet calling for the assassination of Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, has been arrested, according to the U.S. Department of Justice. Garrett Miller, 34, was arrested Wednesday and was held in the Dallas County Jail before he was transferred to federal custody early Friday morning. Miller is now facing charges in U.S. District Court related to the storming of the Capitol. His charges include knowingly entering and remaining in restricted buildings without lawful authority, violent entry and disorderly conduct on Capitol grounds, obstructing and impeding an official proceeding, and performing acts of civil disorder. Miller is one of at least 119 people facing federal charges in connection with the crimes committed during the Capitol riots. Now again, we need to go further. 14th Amendment, Section 3 states, no serving official, whether in the federal government or in state governments, can give aid or comfort to an insurrection against the United States. Over 120 Republican members of Congress, I think maybe closer to 130 if you count the senators too, objected to the election counting. That is both giving aid and comfort to the people who stormed the Capitol thinking that they could overturn the election. If those 130 Republicans did not do what they did, maybe January 6th would have turned out to be a different story, but they did do what they did, and all of them need to be expelled, not, censured, they need to be expelled and then sent to prison, again, We are in a society that has prisons. Instead of having nonviolent drug offenders, be in our prisons to give us slave labor, let's have Ted Cruz go to prison. Let's have Madison Cawthorn go to prison. How about Lauren Boebert go to prison? These are the people that incited and participated in an insurrection against the United States, and you're telling me they're just going to be sitting in Congress for 2 years? This is the same fucking problem with Donald Trump. Donald Trump should have been marched out in handcuffs. Instead, what he did was he walked out and flew away in a helicopter. He should have been marched out and handcuffed, or in handcuffs, but instead, he just went in his big presidential helicopter and just flew to his golf course. We need to hold these motherfuckers accountable. The FBI first received a referral from law enforcement on January 8th, indicating that Miller posted a video from inside the U.S. Capitol on his Twitter account. The 14-second video posted on January 6th, captioned, "From inside Congress," pans across a crowd inside the U.S. Capitol Rotunda as people wave pro-Trump and U.S. flags. Upon further investigation, authorities found that Miller's Facebook account had many posts relating to his involvement in criminal activities at the Capitol. 5 days after storming the Capitol, Miller posted photos of himself inside the building's rotunda while wearing a pro-Trump hat. The images seem to match some of the rotunda surveillance video obtained by law enforcement. In responding to comments left on his Facebook page, Miller acknowledged his participation in pro-Trump riots to multiple individuals. In one tweet, Miller threatened to bring the guns next time, Again, this person not only got inside the Capitol, the cops let them in. The cops let them in. Okay? I want you to listen to me when I say this. The cops let this person in to the, again, sacred halls of liberty. This person took photos of themselves breaking the law. They were then able to walk out of the U.S. Capitol without being arrested, and then that day went on Twitter saying, "We're going to bring the guns next time," and saying that they want to assassinate AOC that day, and they were just arrested a couple days ago. So, and then they sat at home for weeks. Again, they walked through the Capitol building with the intent to overturn the election because Republican lawmakers said that's what we're going to do. So they walked into the Capitol building with the intent to overturn the election results, walked out, went on Twitter, said that they were going to bring guns, and said that they wanted to assassinate AOC. And they were not arrested that day. In a string of tweets responding to Representative AOC, Miller asserted that rioters acted with honor, and we were not armed. We were gentle with the police, the criminal complaint reads. He then tweeted, "Assassinate AOC." I don't know. In addition to posting his own actions on at the Capitol on social media, Miller also discussed the shooting of a woman by U.S. Capitol Police during a pro-Trump riot, saying, "We are going to get a hold of the USCP officer and hug him." I can't even read that because I don't want that to be taken out of context, but Jesus Christ. A detention hearing is scheduled for Monday, according to the U.S. Department of Justice. These people just walked around. They were arrested on Wednesday this week. So they did all of this. The cops just let them do it all. And then he sat pretty in his lazy boy eating gummy bears for another 2.5 weeks. Are you kidding me? This is the United States of America? Jesus fucking Christ, my Lord. How's everyone doing today? Oh. I'm trying to get comfortable here, but it's very difficult. This guy spells "were" as "where" in all of his tweets. That's amazing. I love that kind of shit. It's really just extremely funny. Some cops let them in. That's correct. Trump used a lot of populist language during his campaign. Again, there's a threefold actually. One, the Democratic Party is unable to respond to that because they're dumb. Two, Trump and the Republicans lie, right? And then 3, the Republican voter base buys their lies because they're dumb. That's a three-pronged approach there. How's everyone doing? Hello, Christian. Does QAnonism fall under populism? Sure. Nicholas Rovenski. Hey, are my glasses up there? Haha. I don't think so. Nope. Did I see Tacoma last night? Yes, I have that in my notepad, and I'm going to talk about that very soon. I watched it in real time. It was obvious to anyone with eyes that it was an inside job. I streamed the whole thing. Right? I streamed the whole thing from Trump's speech all the way up until like 2 a.m. And again, I was watching Baked Alaska stream and everything. It was literally like they were on film letting the fucking, they being the cops, they were on film letting these motherfuckers in. PDA had a great interview with Alex Vitale on the subject, well worth checking out. Feel free to send it to me. Hello, DCK Punk, $5. Thank you, thank you, thank you. No message, of course. Imagine giving someone $5 and then that's it. Like, you don't say anything. There's no, like, fucking, like, the little dancing pear. There's no, like, fucking apple with a fucking dumbbell. No. You just gave me money for no reason? Okay. Sure. Alright, what else do we got here? Alright, so I got like 3 more things I'm going to talk about. Let's go in the order of epic to really bad, actually. So, let me set up the scene here. I got a bunch of things, and then I gotta figure out the, you know, the timeline. You know, there's a lot going on here. But hopefully everyone's having a good day. I'm having a pretty good day. Oh my god. All right. I can't, dude. All right, so I'm sorry. I'm just like, okay, so this is just really funny, and I was just reading the article because I haven't read the whole thing yet. So yeah, in breaking news, Ted Cruz and Seth Rogen have been getting into a fight on Twitter, and it's really fun to watch, and it is continued all the way up until this morning. So I wanted to play this a little bit, and I'm also playing with the microphone as well. So again, I want to remind everyone that Seth Rogen's actually pretty cool. And this is him like basically body slamming a cop and then running away and giggling. This is a great video. This is a classic moment from the summer. So that's pretty cool. So we like this guy here in this chat room. So Ted Cruz has been posting a bunch of dumb bullshit, and so Seth Rogen is like, "Yo, buddy, you should stop that." And so let's just read. This is an article from FoxNews.com, so you know it's going to be good. One of the several executive orders signed by President Biden during his first day in the White House resulted in a Twitter feud between Senator Ted Cruz and actor Seth Rogen. Rogen unleashed his fury at Cruz on Wednesday, shortly after the Texas senator slammed Biden's pledge to rejoin the Paris Climate Agreement. Blah, 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 blah. Who cares? The tweet led Rogan to respond directly to Cruz with profanity. Fuck off, you fascist. Again, I love Fox News so much. Cruz, however, wasn't having it and used the opportunity to criticize the long shot actor. Charming, civil, educated response, Cruz quipped to Rogan with sarcasm. Again, I love this. If you're a rich, angry Halloween celebrity, today's Dems are the party for you. If you're a blue collar, if you're a union member, if you work in energy and manufacturing, not so much. Like, again, what? Like, what? The tweet didn't go unnoticed by the actor, who again criticized Cruz, calling him a clown. Again, I love this. Ha ha, get fucked, fascist. Go encourage a white supremacist insurrection again, you fucking clown. Rogan fired back. Again, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. The attitude here is just amazing. In another tweet, the actor wrote, if you're a white supremacist fascist who doesn't find it offensive when someone calls your wife ugly, Ted Cruz is the exact motherfucker for you. Also, I'm in 4 unions, Rogan quipped. I mean, I'm not sure if SAG really counts as a union, but sure, why not? The Paris Climate Agreement was one of over a dozen executive orders Biden signed after being sworn in as president on January 20th. Several of the executive orders rolled back Trump's actions during his term, such as rejoining the World Health Organization. Back in 2017, Rogan gave an interview where he discussed the need to find a balance between speaking out against President Trump and not putting down those who voted for him. I don't want to look back in 10 years and think I just didn't say anything during that time, because it seemed like a time where it's very important to normalize dissent, Rogan told the Daily Beast, blah, 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 blah. All right, so again, we've got more tweets here. This is this morning. We have this morning, Seth Rogen tweets out, all jokes aside, Ted Cruz is a fascist piece of shit. So, and then Ted Cruz goes out and tweets, all jokes aside, Seth Rogen is a moron. It's your party that believes in government power, to shut your business, to oppress your faith, and censor your speech. Anyone who disagrees, they try to cancel. By the way, a lot of Hollywood folks are conservative and muzzled by the fascist left.
Only the really, I hate to say this, but those with the lowest IQ.
Wow. All right. So let me try to explain this one in ways that is not just popcorn funniness. So Ted Cruz, what this is a way for Ted Cruz to get into a high-profile Twitter fight. He's trying to distract from the fact that he aided and gave comfort to those who violently tried to overthrow the United States government, which, by the way, is illegal. It is unconstitutional. Not only is it unconstitutional, it is anti-constitutional. 14th Amendment, Section 3, prohibits any sitting member of the United States government to give aid or comfort to those who plan to plan an insurrection against the United States government. So Ted Cruz has violated the Constitution. He should be in jail. Every single day that Ted Cruz, Josh Hawley, Madison Cawthorn, Lauren Boebert, Marjorie Taylor Greene, every single day that those people are still sitting members of the United States government and not in jail is a huge affront to this fucking country. If we're going to have a constitution, if we're like, again, this guy is talking about, the First Amendment, free speech. When a private corporation says, go take your book to another publisher, that's free speech, the First Amendment, oh my God! Yet, the 14th Amendment, all of a sudden, wait, what? 14th Amendment? No, I only care about the first and the second. What about the 4th Amendment? What about the 8th Amendment, What about those? What about the 14th? Nah, fuck them. It's only the first and the second. And really, it's only the second. Because remember, Ted Cruz spent all summer advocating for militarized police forces to murder Black Lives Matter and anti-fascist protesters. So this guy's not about freedom of speech. So he's using this opportunity to try to distract from the fact that he violated the Constitution and should be in jail right now. And on the other end, Seth Rogen is being a very, very, very high-profile actor and just using his platform to openly attack in a very funny way sitting treasonous, seditionist members of Congress. And I think that, you know, again, Ted Cruz is going to play this to his benefit, but calling, like, again, the fascist left? What? The fascist left? What? This guy is literally too much of a beta cuck to stand up to a president who called his wife ugly. This is a beta cuck. Ted Cruz. Let me just put the tweet back up. Beta cuck. This is some soy boy shit right here. So not only is Ted Cruz unable to stand up against someone who calls his wife ugly, right? But he is unable to handle a private corporation not wanting to publish his friend's book. He is unable to handle criticism of him on Twitter without calling people fascists. The guy's a fucking idiot. Seth Rogen is pretty funny. And Seth Rogen's been pretty good recently. And I hope to see more people in Hollywood become or promote leftist or socialist ideals. That's a good thing. Now, again, if they're trying to distract or detract from achieving communism in this country and in this world, that's a bad thing. But I see Seth Rogen, as of this moment, I see Seth Rogen as an ally. He's also pretty funny. And we need to make sure that we again, I try to be a funny person. Maybe I'm not. It's possible I fail. But I think humor and affability is one of the chief ways that we win in the culture war, which is downstream from politics. So you got to be funny, you got to be affable, and you got to not be a stuck-up little prick. And so in the 2016 election, right, the Democrats were seen, for whatever reason, they were seen as the stuck-up little pricks, right? That's what they were seen as. In the 2020 election, it was the Republicans who were mostly seen as stuck-up little pricks. And we got to make sure it stays that way. And so the best way to do that is to be funny and then have Ted Cruz respond like this. Like, joking about Ted Cruz being a dumb motherfucker and a clown, great. And then when Ted Cruz responds with not being able to take a joke and looking like a fucking loser, little beta soy boy cuck, that only does us benefits. But again, 14th Amendment, Section 3, send these people to prison for the rest of their lives. Hey, maybe we can even send Ted back to Canada or something. Wow, why are y'all giving me money? JL, $5. A government official who does not believe in government power and wants to overthrow it. The irony of being a Republican. Yeah, that's really great. Christian, $9.99? No message. Imagine you're going to give someone $10 with no message whatsoever. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I wasn't even paying attention. I thought Andrea was talking about Madison Cawthorn when she said he can't even stand up to. And I mean, you know, what are you going to do? Jojo Diartiste, $5. Don't forget that time he tried to get Jim Jordan to fight Ron Perlman to defend Matt Gaetz' honor in a fight he picked and didn't involve him. Yeah, there's a lot of really bizarre stories for sure. My word. Yeah, these people are freak shows. I mean, these people are fucking freak shows. Anyway, that's the story, and I'm sticking to it, I guess, or something. So I want to talk about what happened in Tacoma. And just like, you know, cops are just really bad. Like, they're just really bad. Like, they're just fucking awful.
No good, really bad for you.
All right. Let's see. Wow, there's so many ads on this page. Does the site work with ad block on? It does. All right. Okay. All right, so I've got the video here. Let's just start this. So in Tacoma, this happened. I'm not entirely sure what preceded this, but I've got a news article, and maybe I'll learn some more. So as you can see, there's a police SUV, and they run through a crowd of what looks to be 30 people or so.
Oh my God! Fuck! Holy fuck! Oh my God!
So you can literally see, this is an SUV. This is not like a bicycle, right? You can clearly see people getting caught under the tires as like the car goes over them, right? So again, all cops are bastards. Reminder, on January 6th, there were more cops that stormed the Capitol than there were cops who wanted to stop them from storming the Capitol. There were off-duty officers that tried to overthrow the government of the United States, and the on-duty officers let them do it. That's what happened, right? All summer, we have been seeing these douchebag cops abusing Black Lives Matter protesters and other protesters as well. Just abusing them because they can get away with it, right? So, and again, as soon as right-wingers, the Trump fans, as soon as they become unruly, when have you seen a Black Lives Matter protest? Like, have people with guns in the crowd saying, "Don't tread on me," saying we're going to overthrow the election? When has that happened? It's never happened, right? It's never happened. But when you've got right-wingers with guns planning to overthrow the United States government, all of a sudden, there's no such thing as tear gas. Tear what? All of a sudden, there's no such thing as cop SUVs running through crowds. All of a sudden, there's no such thing as handcuffs. What? Arrest people for breaking the law? What? But when it's Black Lives Matter protesters, or, again, just people in general, if it's just regular people, cops will abuse the ever-loving fuck out of all of their power in any capacity at all times. So, I've got an article from Kiro 7. A Tacoma police officer whose SUV was surrounded by a crowd was seen on camera running over a pedestrian Saturday night. So again, one of the core things of this show is media accountability and criticism. Look at this sentence. Now, whoever wrote this, whoever edited this piece, honestly needs to lose their job. They need to be fired instantly. If this is how you try to write about what happened here.
Oh my God!
Right? You see that video and this is the first sentence of your story? No, you're not a journalist. You are a freak. You are disgusting. You are evil. And you have no authority to speak about anything. And no one should ever read anything you say and take it at face value. Nobody. A Tacoma police officer whose SUV was surrounded by a crowd was seen on camera running over a pedestrian Saturday night. A pedestrian. You can literally see at least 30 people be hit by this car. At least. You can see several of them underneath the car. You can clearly see one of them being like rolled over on the tires, right? So if you like read this video and say a pedestrian was hit, I'm sorry. Like, now I shouldn't, like, again, First Amendment, you shouldn't be thrown in prison. But the idea that you get a paycheck once a week or maybe once every 2 weeks, the idea that you are getting money, a stable paycheck to write this crap, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. If you were to take any random person off the street, go to, like, let's say a waitress. You go to a random waitress in a fucking restaurant somewhere, and you tell them to watch this video and write an article about it, I guarantee motherfucking to you, they would write a better article than whoever wrote this piece of garbage. So again, I want it to be very clear that this show's one of this show's main factors is media criticism. So with that being said, let's keep going. The incident was captured on camera and distributed on social media. Afterward, an angry group of protesters gathered near where the accident happened. Now again, the timeline that this media article is trying to give it to you is Okay, so there was a Tacoma police officer who was surrounded by a crowd, right, giving them the probable cause. It's like, oh, they were surrounded by a crowd. They ran over one pedestrian, not pedestrians, a pedestrian. And then afterward, everyone got angry. Wow, why are they're so unruly and unreasonable. It's not like I hit 30 people with my car, sending one to the hospital. Nah. The angry group of protesters. What about the angry police officer? Is there an angry police officer? I mean, you got to be pretty angry to run over 30 people with a car, with an SUV. You got to be pretty pissed off. Is the police officer described as angry? No. They're judging the reaction to attempted murder as angry. But the attempted murder, just another day on the job. Tacoma police said dispatchers started receiving calls about around 6:20 p.m. about cars and people blocking the intersection of South 9th and Pacific Avenue. Vehicles were reported to have been doing burnouts and donuts. Okay? And that's an attempted murder is okay because someone was doing a donut in an intersection? I mean, yeah, sure, that's dumb. But should you just try to kill a random person because of that? Okay, so someone is in a car doing a burnout in an intersection. Therefore, I'm going to run over a random pedestrian with my car? What? What? When police arrived at the scene, a crowd of about 100 people had gathered. Officers began clearing the intersection. What does that mean? Officers began they are willing to describe, an angry group they're so angry, this group of protesters. Yet they give the officers just began clearing the intersection. It's not, the officers began using tear gas to disperse protesters. It's not, an unruly group of brutal officers decided to whip out batons against innocent protesters exercising their First Amendment. No, officers began clearing the intersection. Again, you need to know how to read things. My show is first and foremost is about self-help and teaching people the tools they need to operate in this society. And when you read anything on the news, you have to understand that whoever is writing that has an agenda. Whoever is editing that, the editors of the magazine or the news or whatever, they have an agenda. Whoever is paying these people to write and edit has an agenda. And you can see that agenda a lot in local news because that's where the bottom of the barrel is, to be honest. A Tacoma police officer who arrived in an SUV with its light and sirens on soon found himself surrounded by people who were banging on the stopped vehicle and its windows in a threatening way. Again, every single fucking sentence is disgusting. What you should do, and you should do this nicely, you should do this, again, I don't want you to be a bitch about it. You can be a bitch in my chat room about it, right? I want anyone to call this news station that lives in this area, call this station, and demand that whoever wrote this article be fired for writing this shit in this fashion, right? Come up with a way, write it down, and don't use swear words, right? This person needs to be fired. The editor needs to be fired. The people buttering their bread need to be fired. So again, it's not an angry and overworked and under-caffeinated police officer who maybe drank, an eighth of whatever liquor of their choice before getting into the car, stumbled through a crowd and got, too big for their britches and decided to have a meltdown, nearly killing people and attempting to murder protesters. No. It's an innocent baby boy was in a car and people were threatening him. Oh, the innocent baby boy. Oh, no. Oh, no. Tacoma police said that fearing for his safety, the officer tried to back up, but was unable to because of the crowd. While trying to leave the unsafe situation, the officer drove forward and hit one person and possibly others, the police said. Again, there's a video. Remember when George Floyd was murdered by cops and the police statement that came out that day said that, the cops never touched him. He died of a fentanyl overdose. Remember that? And then the video came out. And it's like, oh, wait, no, that's literally not in any capacity what happened. Remember when they said, we didn't have body cameras? And then, the video came out and they they have body cameras on in the video, and then they got the body camera footage. Remember that? Yeah, they're like, so there's a whole crowd of people banging on the vehicle, right? Like, it's an angry group of threatening black people banging on the car. Arrgh! Right? But as soon as the car starts moving, all of a sudden, oh yeah, you may have hit people. So the car is surrounded by threatening groups of protesters, right? And then as soon as the car moves, they just disappear. They despawn. Like in a video game, they just go away. So as soon as they press gas on the pedal or on the car, right? Just all of a sudden, oh, yeah, there's just one person. They hit one person, maybe others. I don't know. It's hard to tell. It's hard to tell. Maybe others. I mean, it's possible. That's like, again, when Donald Trump was like, I'm the greatest president in the history of presidents, with the possible exception of Abraham Lincoln. Remember that? Yeah, I mean, you know, surrounded by protesters, and as soon as the car moves, he may have hit a couple. Maybe.
Oh my God!
It's possible. Anything is possible. Is it possible that the cop maybe was a piece of garbage? No way. Cop's an innocent baby boy. Tacoma police officer Wendy Haddow said she believed the man fell under the SUV as it moved forward and was run over. Oh! She believed that happened. It's not, this article wasn't written with, oh, there's a video, let's cite the video. It says at the very beginning, right? An incident was captured on camera and distributed. Literally, the start of this story is there's a video. And instead of, I don't know, basing this report on the video, they base the report on the police report, what the cops tell them on the phone, which is blatantly wrong. So they are being stenographers for police. They're just writing whatever the police say, reporting it as fact. Well, the video that they start the article by saying distributed on social media disproves everything. And they don't care. This is a journalist? A journalist. What is a journalist? Okay, so you've got a video of something happening, and you've got words from the people that attempted to murder people. What is more valuable? As far as unbiased, objective truth is concerned, what is more valuable? A police statement from the people who attempted to murder protesters, or the video that shows the police attempting to murder protesters? What is more valuable? Well, if you're a journalist that works for Kiro 7, live, local, and in-depth, I don't know. A video, people telling a story, I don't know. Both of them have their merits. Yeah, sure, the video disproves the fairy tale, but whatever. Kiro 7 spoke with witnesses who said a group of people were hit by an officer. Yeah, the witnesses said that. It's not, oh, I don't know, on video. No, it's just a bunch of witnesses. We're like, yeah, people got hit, man. It's just a bunch of witnesses that said that. I was shocked, I was shaken, I was confused, I was scared. This officer just ran this group of people over and then fled the scene, a woman told Kiro 7. I want justice for the people who just got injured. Squad car 2815 needs to be held accountable. There's no editorial on that. It's just, okay, this is a quote. Throw it in there. Both sides. In the aftermath of the incident, tensions simmered between police and those still at the scene. Police arrested at least one person and ordered the crowd to disperse. How did they do so? How did they disperse the crowd? Details, schmeetails, what? So, okay, someone was arrested. Was it maybe the police officer who was given a badge and a gun? Right? Who decided to run over a group of possibly more than one person. I mean, it's on video, but it's possible that more than one person got hit. Were they the one arrested? No. Of course not. No way. They weren't arrested. They went home. They ate a box of donkeys, right? They drank fucking a 2-liter of Mountain Dew, and then they passed out in their fucking lazy boy. They didn't go to jail. No, it was a protester that went to jail. Why would you send the cop who attempted to kill 30 people to jail? What? No. You drive him over to the nearest donkeys, get him a dozen. Hey, fuck it, give him a baker's dozen, right? He deserves it. And then they go home and they watch whatever cop shows rerunning and fucking cry themselves to sleep. Fuck them. Meanwhile, the people that just witnessed attempted murder, gotta send them to jail. No editorial. It's just, yeah, that's what happened. The Tacoma Police Department has turned the investigation over to Pierce County Force Investigation Team. I am concerned that our department is experiencing another use of deadly force incident. Oh, you're concerned about the department experience. Not, oh, I'm concerned that one of my officers attempted to run over and kill 30 people. No. I'm just concerned that it's there's an incident. Our department is experiencing an incident. I don't care about the 30 people whose lives were endangered. Fuck them. My buddies, though, have to file the paperwork and goddamn, right? Said Interim Police Chief Mike Ake. Mike Ake. Imagine that's your name. Like you live your life and you're Mike Ake. Jesus Christ. I send my thoughts to anyone who is injured in tonight's event and am committed to our department's full cooperation to anyone that was injured in tonight's event. So yeah, I know that I just let this guy off, right? They've got paid vacation. I bought them a box of donkeys. They're sitting in their lazy boy right now. Meanwhile, everyone who just witnessed a traumatic event, they're not going to get therapy. You know when cops shoot people and kill people in the job, they get mandatory therapy that they often will just like skim through and sign off and not actually do the therapy sessions. What about the people that were hit by a police SUV? Is the police department going to pay for their therapy? Think about that. The police officer that runs over those people, they are going to go through therapy mandated by the police department, paid for by their insurance. Are the people that got hit by that SUV going to go and get therapy? Nope. Nope. So anyway, that's the story. What a bunch of bullshit. What a bunch of bullshit. And honestly, again, local media, you have to, like whenever you're around cops, every single police interaction you have, film them. The cops will always, not 99, not 98, not 50-50. The cops will 100% of the time. If there was a percentage higher than 100 that made any sense mathematically and wouldn't detract from my point, I would use that instead. They 100% of the time will lie. Not 99%, not 98.6%, not 69% of the time. 100% of the time, the police will lie. Literally every single time. If there's a video and if there's a police report and the police report was written and they didn't know about the video, 100% of the time they lie about the details that occurred in the order of those details. 100%. Not 99, not 50-50, not 2%, not it's so rare. It's 100% of the time. And even when they know there's a video, they will purposefully, and this is again editorializing, they will purposefully highlight certain information. Again, oh, a threatening group of protesters was stamping on the car. Oh, they're threatening us. That's what they say. But when the police officer puts their foot on the gas pedal, it's all of a sudden, they might have possibly hit a couple people. Maybe. I don't know. I know there's a video that shows that, but possibly hit the people. That is a lie by omission. Police will lie to you about everything. Every single time. Police will lie about you to other people about everything, every single time. If you have a cop in your life, in your family, do not trust them. 40% of police are domestic abusers, and that is self-reported from their family members. That is wives coming forward in studies and surveys about being abused by their husbands. Imagine the wives that don't come forward. Or the husbands that don't come forward. Again, this is not, it's not all cops are men. Women cops are awful. Minority cops of any kind are disgusting pigs. Evil. They're evil. Women cops, evil. Irredeemable. Men cops, evil. Irredeemable. White cops, black cops, Asian cops, they're all evil, irredeemable pieces of garbage, right? Now, someone can become a cop with good intentions. Sure. But as soon as you put that uniform on and as soon as you actually get engaged in your work and as soon as you file a police report that is untruthful, you are no longer a good cop. As soon as you file that police report where you lied for your partner, where you lied for yourself, which again, 100% of cops do. There's studies that were done, right, on this shit. And like, if you don't involve lies by omission or editorial deceit, right, then it's like somewhere around 90 to 95% of police reports are just blatantly untrue, right? But when you factor in lies by omission or editorial deceit, it's 100%. Every single thing, every single time, they will overplay the threat and they will underplay them being a threat. Every single time. It's self-preservation. That's why we have body cameras, so that we can have an unbiased, objective outlook as to how these people behaved. That's why body cameras exist, because cops lie. Society as a whole decided body cameras should exist because we know cops are liars. And yet, there's still not a federal mandate that every single police officer has a body camera on at all times? What? Body camera footage still takes months to come out? It's not streamed on a website live? These are our people that we pay to keep us safe. We pay them. We give them our money because if someone breaks into our house at night, we want someone to call that can come and help us. We pay them to help us, and they don't. Why? Because they take our money, right? And they take that badge and they shove that boot down your throat and they say, I'm better than you. I'm immune. Nothing I do is wrong. Everything you do is wrong. Listen to me. It's about power. There is no such thing as a good cop. Just in the same way that there's no such thing as a good nuclear explosion. Right? Oh, well, that one bomb was justified. What? No, you killed hundreds of thousands of innocent civilians. There is no good nuclear explosion. I can come up with other analogies, but that's the first one that hit my brain. Anyway, I've been talking about cops for like 20 minutes, and that's a little bit too much for me. Yeah, so again, I got a lot. I haven't talked about police brutality that much recently. I've been focusing on the Capitol stuff, but I've been trying to weave this in. But again, I really need to underscore to anyone that's new in my following, my sphere, anyone who's new here, you need to know how bad cops are. Can a cop go into the police force with good intentions? Sure. Sure. Does that mean that they're a good cop? No, because there's no such thing as a good cop. Are there people that worked with Adolf Hitler because they wanted to maybe make his, maybe I can stop a couple things from happening? Sure. All right, maybe. But did they end up working for Adolf Hitler? Yes. Right, so that's the thing here that you have to understand here. Oh no, I used Hitler in an argument. I've automatically failed. But again, there's no such thing as a good cop. If you can just choose to do something else, like again, if you want to be a net benefit, it's like, all right, I want to help my society. Go be a firefighter. Go be a baker. Go work at McDonald's. Be a burger flipper. People that work in fast food, people that work in retail, do literally, and I shit you not, an order of magnitude more for this society in this country. By maybe, if I were to just throw out a hyperbolic number, maybe 100 times more valuable. Someone that makes fucking French fries at Burger King is 1,000 times more valuable to society than the most, like, the top cop, like, police chief, whatever is the highest, the police position. Thousands of times. I would even go as far as 1 million. Someone who picks tomatoes, right, in a farm somewhere is 10 trillion times more valuable than the most decorated of police officers. And you cannot change my mind. So anyway, that's my cop segment on Tacoma. Fuck them. How's everyone doing? I haven't looked at the chat in like 20 minutes, so. This is now the wind down. We're in the wind down section. So I'm going to try to read the chat for like another 5 or 10 minutes, and then I'm going to hop downstairs and get on with my day. Again, real quick, I will be streaming tonight. I don't know when I'm going to start streaming. I'll know when later. So, but I'm going to be doing a Doom 2 speedrun. UV Max, which is 100% kills and secrets in the whole game. My best time for that is about 90 minutes, but I haven't played in a while, so it might be like 110 minutes. And after that is over, I will be doing a debate stream. I'm not going to debate anyone, but I'm going to restream the Bad Faith Sam Cedar Bree Joy Gray debate. And I'm going to give live commentary on the whole thing. It'll probably be on like 1.25x or something, and you're going to have to deal with it. But again, it was a long fucking thing. So that's going to be tonight's schedule. Over the next week, I'm going to have a lot more free time. For whatever reason, like I'm a little sweaty. That's weird. I'm going to turn that light off maybe. But for the next week, I'm going to have a little bit more time. My brother is going away. I'm still in New Jersey, but I haven't seen my brother in a while in person, so we're hanging out over the course of this week. But next week, he will not be here, so I will have a little bit more free time. I might do more nighttime streams and that kind of stuff. So let me try to read some of the chat. Yeah, I mean, again, I just wanted to reiterate to all the newer people here, because there are a lot of newer people that didn't watch my show over the course of the summer. And obviously this summer had a lot of police-related commentary. I'm going to make some more playlists about stuff. I'm probably going to do like a summer protest police brutality playlist at some point. But yeah, for a lot of people that don't know my opinions on police or that are new here and all that stuff, I want to very much so reiterate that I do not like cops in any capacity. Right? In any capacity. Like, I know that there's a lot of people out there that waffle on police issues. I do not waffle on that stuff. And I'm not necessarily saying that if you do waffle, you're a bad person. I'm just saying that I think you're doing a disservice to the real people that get really hurt by real police in real life. I think when we speak about police, right? When we speak about police, we need to make it very clear that they are not our friends. I treat police officers as I would treat a Nazi, as an occupying force. Right? That's what they are. They are an occupational force. And speaking of them in any lesser terms, like again, if you experienced any news reports during this summer, or last summer I should say, and you come out not being 100% against police, I'm sorry, man, but I really I just don't, I know that this is a generational thing. Like I know a lot of older people, especially older white people, will speak about cops as if even having the idea in your head that there's that mythical maybe 0.1% good cop, that idea being in your head will cloud your commentary. Right? You have to understand what, at least in the context of the United States of America, it's possible that there's the mythological good cop in in Norway. I don't know about Norway. It's possible that there's maybe a decent cop in fucking Japan somewhere. Maybe, I don't know. Right? But I'm talking about America specifically. Now, I'm willing to bet money. If I had money and we're going to wager, I would bet money that every single cop all across the world is evil. But I can't speak so authoritatively with countries I don't live in. But definitely in the United States of America, these people, I'm sorry. I really cannot take your commentary on police seriously unless you are very explicit about how bad they are. But yeah, so again, I've got a lot of new people here that did not watch my show over the course of the summer, so just want to reiterate how much cops are bad. Hello, Sandrino. Maybe stop your stupid shows and try get some money. I actually got some money today. In fact, let me see did I read all the super chats? I think I did. I think. If I didn't, feel free to give another one. OMG despawned $5. LMAO. Right? There you go. Sandrino, you have no added value? Okay. Cops are bad? Yeah, no shit. What? Is this a troll? Because this is really, this is really bad. I'm trying to scroll up. Were you here throughout the rest of the stream? I don't see you anywhere else. Interesting. That's so interesting that, there are people here right? That literally don't listen to a word I say, but will make these like profound analyses on my entire biography. Like, isn't that just incredible? Like, I have never met this person before 10 minutes ago or 5 minutes ago. They've never heard of me in their life. And they're going to make like authoritative biographical like analyses of my entire existence. It's just really interesting stuff. Man, again, I love streaming. Like, just interacting with these people is so entertaining for me.
Only the really, I hate to say this, but those with the lowest IQ.
It's just like, wow. But yeah, again, I will be back later today. If you do not enjoy video game streams, I implore you that if you have free time, feel free to stop by and give it a go. I'm going to be drinking a lot of coffee tonight. And, yeah. So, okay, Sandro, I listened to most of your vids. It's really not interesting stuff. Okay, so, again, I have been on YouTube for 10 years. Right? Can I, like, look at how many videos I have? I probably have, like, 5,000, 6,000, maybe even more videos. Right? So this person is going to come into my stream. They're going to say that they have watched most of my videos. Now, the most charitable like reading of that is 51%, right? Like technically that's most. That's 50.01%, right? So this person has watched 50.01% of my videos over the course of 10 years. Now, again, nobody has done that. I just want to be explicit. There is not a single person on earth who has done that, right? But this person is claiming that they did, and that their analysis of 50.0001% of my last 10 years on YouTube is, quote, it's really not interesting stuff. That's all they got. So they watched what would probably amount to being 50,000 plus hours of videos, and their takeaway is it's just not interesting. Like, I can't, dude. Like, these motherfuckers. And they, like, come in here and they think that, like, they're gonna outsmart me.
Did you use the word smart? So you said you went to Delaware State, but you forgot the name of your college. You didn't go to Delaware State. You graduated either the lowest or almost the lowest in your class. Don't ever use the word smart with me. Don't ever use that word.
Oh, give me a break.
Because you know what? There's nothing smart about you, Joe.
Oh, man, these people are dumb as shit, dude. Like, if the videos were so uninteresting, why would you watch 10,000, 50,000 hours of them? Like, but obviously they didn't. They just said that they've watched most of my videos, and that's just a lie? Like, that's just like, but again, like, these are the same people that, like, will write these news articles about how, like, cops were threatened. Oh, like, they just lie, and they have no problem with that. I know, I get it. Right? Like, you just fucking write whatever you want is beneficial in the moment. I get you. But it's like, what? Like, I just don't, like, what? It's unbelievable. But yeah, again, I'll be streaming later today. Thank you all for watching. I love every single one of you, even Sandro. Hopefully you stick around. Hopefully you learn something. Hey, Captain Spock. By the way, thank you for the PlayStation extravaganza. I cannot wait to get home and delve through. That's gonna be great. Yeah. Thank you all for watching. The idea that people watch and listen to what I have to say is still a little interesting to me. And I hope that everyone has a great rest of your day. Again, I stream 7 days a week, 10 a.m. every single day. Now, again, if there's going to be a change in schedule, I'll let you know ahead of time. But if I'm ever not live on YouTube at 10 a.m., chances are I got a strike or I'm unable to stream. And so go to my Discord or my Twitter or other forms of social media to figure out what the news is. Real quick, I got these new leggings, right? And I don't know if you can see this. Let me turn this light back on. Right, there's like a pattern here, right? Can you see that? Right, there's just like a pattern, and it's just like, this is so fun to just feel. Like, does that? Can you hear that? That's amazing. I've just been doing that all day. But anyway, $10 from JL. Thank you. Anyway, that's it. And thank you. I will be back. I might be wearing the same pants, so if that's something that maybe is interesting to you, then I may be also interested, though it's also possible I will take a shower and change my clothes at some point today. Anything is possible. We'll see. I'll see you later. Goodbye. That's it. It's over. Get the hell out of here, you fucking motherfucker.
Running against the worst candidate in the history of presidential politics puts pressure on me. Could you imagine if I lose my whole life? What am I going to do? I'm going to say, I lost to the worst candidate in the history of politics. I'm not going to feel so good. Maybe I'll have to leave the country. I don't know.
You know, the truth of the matter is that when you look at some of my policies, in a lot of ways, Richard Nixon was more liberal than I was.
Well, you have to understand, the first time I ever heard of Black Lives Matter, they were chanting, pigs in a blanket, talking about police. Pigs, talking about our police. Pigs in a blanket, fry them like bacon. And then they have cans of soup. Rick, it's too heavy. And then when they get caught, they say, no, this is soup from my family. They're so innocent. And when they get caught, they say, no, this is just soup from my family. And then the media says, this is just soup. These people are very, very innocent. They're innocent people. Well, you have to understand, the first time I ever heard of Black Lives Matter, they were chanting, pigs in a blanket, talking about police. Pigs, talking about our police. Pigs in a blanket, fry them like bacon. But you have to go home now. We have to have peace. We have to have law and order. We have to respect our great people in law and order. We don't want anybody hurt. It's a very tough period of time. There's never been a time like this where such a thing happened. People.
Sam, if I could just get this sentence out. We can talk about Jimmy Dore will go and kill 15 kids tomorrow, and I still believe in force the vote. Sam, if I could just get this sentence out. We can talk about Jimmy Dore will go and kill 15 kids tomorrow, and I still believe in force the vote.
Dumb people, liberal people, dumb people, liberal people, dumb people, dumb people, dumb people, dumb people, liberal people.
He was not a loser. He was a patriot, and the people left behind there were heroes. And I resent.
Are you talking
like
about Hunter? Are you talking about
I'm talking about my son, Beau Biden. You're talking about me.
I don't know Beau. I know Hunter.
Yeah,
Hunter got thrown out of the military. He was thrown out, dishonorably discharged.
That's not true. It wasn't dishonorably.
Cocaine use, and he didn't have a job until you became vice president. And what?
They're not accountable to anyone. I get 10 to 12 million views a month, and they won't come out and address my progressive audience who isn't endorsing #the vote. All those motherfuckers who didn't show up today at our town hall.
Only the really, I hate to say this, but those with the lowest IQ.
Watch Hillary examine the terrain. Watch a campaign with the man Tim Kaine. Tim Kaine in the membrane. Tim Kaine in the brain.
And by the way, I don't think that's some grand conspiracy. I think this is sort of what power is. I mean this at a sort of high level.
I don't wear masks like him. Every time you see him, he's got a mask. He could be speaking 200 feet away from it. He shows up with the biggest mask I've ever seen. Then I have an article, too, where I have the right to do whatever I want as president. But I don't even talk about that. $7 million for reef fish management, $25 billion to combat Asian carp, $2.5 billion to count the number of amberjack fish in the Gulf of Mexico.
Early in the morning, they went to the table with the black robe and the black shield, and they pulled out the votes.
We hold these truths to be self-evident. All men and women created by go. You know the thing.